Rikki Klieman is a CBS News legal analyst. She joins us now. Rikki, what would you say is the big takeaway from Secretary DeVos' announcement today?
I think the big takeaway is that the system is broken, that what was all good intentions on the part of the Obama administration and the Civil Rights Division in the original Dear Colleague letter of 2011 in order to protect victims of sexual assault has gone so far astray of what was intended that what the Secretary is presently stating is this: look, it's broken. We need to fix it. I'm not telling you exactly how we're going to fix it at this point. We're going to get more public comment. We're going to find out what other people have to say as suggestions. But she certainly gave us some room to consider, including toward the end of her statement, talking even about the possibility of regional centers in order to adjudicate these questions of sexual assault.
So what do you think this means practically for people in schools who want to report sexual assault? What's the bottom line here?
Well, the bottom line is, if you are a victim of sexual assault or sexual harassment, you should report. If you're a victim of sexual assault, my thought is you should not necessarily step by the local law enforcement authorities in your area who may have people who are trained to deal with sexual assault. But nevertheless, in either context, you have a right to expect your university to act upon your complaint.
You mentioned the Obama administration. They used Title IX to address complaints about sexual assault. Why did they do that to begin with?
Well, we certainly heard, first of all, that there was rampant sexual assault in the military. And as a result, I say, of the look-see at what was happening around the military, which people found appalling in terms of the amount of sexual assault that was not being adjudicated, not being handled appropriately, it then, in a certain way, opened the door for the Obama administration to say, let's look also what is happening on campuses. And what we found as a society was that there were so many people who were victims of sexual assault who were shamed, who were not allowed to come forward. So the Obama administration wanted to send a message that they were going to protect victims. The problem with all of this, which I do think that the Secretary elucidates in graphic detail, is that although we want to protect victims, always, no one should ever have to be a victim of sexual assault or harassment. On the other side of that, which was exemplified by the statement from the Harvard Law School faculty some time ago, which was we were trampling on the rights of those accused of sexual assault. Everyone in this situation, accuser and accused, should be entitled to due process.
You always, when we have you on, make it a point to look at the other side of the argument. Often you don't look at the accused and their rights. What do you think, with this in mind, what do you think this administration will do moving forward when they come up with some guidelines? Is there a sense of where they're going or how they can fix this?
Well, I think that there are many groups who have, before the Secretary spoke, certainly already criticized her for what they perceived would be an abandonment of women's rights. I did not hear that at all in her speech. I think that she is most anxious to protect victims, but to balance it with also those who might be falsely accused and to give them rights as well. What my hope is out of all of this is that I believe in due process. We should all believe in due process for both sides. That when you are someone who is a citizen accused of a crime in a criminal court, we know that you have substantial rights, including the right to a lawyer, a right to cross-examine, a right to be convicted if you are beyond a reasonable doubt is the burden of proof. Here, in many cases, victims of sexual assault have also not been believed, but those falsely accused have had little or no due process. They haven't been able to confront their accuser. There has been no right of cross-examination. Some of them were told they were expelled or suspended and not even knew why.
Yeah.
This cannot be allowed to remain.
Rikki Klieman, thank you so much for pointing this out to us.